All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Josh.
Good morning.
Today, I'll be giving a presentation on the life, legacy, and mystery of Amelia Earhart. On July 2nd, 1937, Amelia Earhart and her co-pilot, Fred Noonan, made their very last radio call to a Coast Guard ship that was off the coast of Howland Island while on their trip to fly around the world. The world of aviation has changed dramatically in the last 110 years since the Wright brothers' first flight. Nowadays, most of us have been on a plane, we've flown somewhere. However, if you go back 80 years, the act of flying was still very dangerous and also awe-inspiring. And here is an image of Amelia Earhart, and this was one of the last photos taken. Consider what Amelia may have felt. She didn't know this was going to be her last flight, but she knew the dangers, and she did not let it get in the way of her love for aviation. I've always been fascinated by aviation. I've been more fascinated that we haven't found out what exactly happened on this flight. However, due to these brave aviators, they've changed the world of aviation and helped create it to what it is today. All right, so I'll just give a brief overview of what this presentation has. I will go over Amelia Earhart's early life, her contributions to aviation, and the findings of her final flight. Let's begin with the early life. Amelia Earhart was born on July 24th, 1897. According to a Public Broadcasting Service American Experience article, she was born in Atchison, Kansas. She had grown up with her grandparents and primarily lived with them, but during the summer when school would finish, she would move back to her family that lived in Kansas City. She saw her first airplane in 1908 while at an Iowa State Fair, and in a later on interview, she had stated that she wasn't really actually interested in the plane. It wasn't until the age of 23 that she had taken her first flight, and she was originally enrolled in pre-med at Columbia University. Earhart actually borrowed some money from her mother to purchase her first airplane, which was a two-seater, single engine, and she was able to get her pilot's license with that. Amelia Earhart, she holds numerous records. She holds the highest altitude record for a woman, which was 14,000 feet. At the time, that was groundbreaking. And she was also the first woman to fly solo from Hawaii to California. I'll talk about the mystery of Amelia Earhart's last flight. According to the Unnatural History Museum, Earhart and her co-pilot Fred Noonan had planned a flight around the world. On March 17, 1937, they began from Oakland, California to fly to Hawaii. When they arrived in Hawaii, they had refueled, and they actually crashed the plane when they were going to take off again. And it required 2 months of repairs. The plane had to be sent back from Hawaii to California. And they began their flight again after the repairs and flew to Lae, New Guinea. From Lae, New Guinea, they were supposed to fly to Howland Island. It was a 2,556-mile trip. It was all dead reckoning. They did not have any landmarks to tell where they were going, or all they relied on was celestial navigation and basic compass usage. Once they began their flight, they departed the morning of July 3rd, and they were supposed to arrive, but their last radio transmission, they said, "We must be on you, we cannot see you. Fuel is running low, been unable to reach you by radio, we were flying at 1,000 feet." And that was the last radio call that was made out from their flight. Now, we may have thought that that could never happen, that a plane can't just fall off the radar and never be found again. However, just recently, Air Flight Malaysia 370 was one to have disappeared. On March 8, 2014, the Boeing 777 took off en route to Beijing, China. It lost communications 38 minutes after takeoff and was never seen again. All 239 people were presumed dead. In summary, the flight of Amelia Earhart and her co-pilot Fred Noonan may have seemed a loss, but it was an event that forever changed the history of aviation and implemented a lot of new safety standards. Amelia Earhart did not set out to change the world or change aviation. However, she did challenge herself and limitations of the aircraft and her adventure. If you pursue the world of aviation, you might one day find yourself changing it. She didn't set out to break any world records and ultimately change the world of aviation. Thank you for your time. Are there any questions?
How old was she when she disappeared?
Well, she was born in 1890. I'm sorry. That's a good question. How old was she when she disappeared? Amelia Earhart was born in 1897 and went missing in 1937. So she was roughly about 39 years old. Any other questions?
Do you know what type of plane she was flying when she disappeared?
That is a good question. I did not take note of that, but I will look that up. It was a twin engine. I do not know the exact make and model. Any other questions?
What first inspired her to go into the air?
What first inspired her to go into the air? She had seen an aircraft at an air show that actually was doing a low pass, and it flew right over her. And she had stated that she stared right into the oncoming plane, and she made eye contact with the pilot, that he was that low. And she said from that moment on that she was inspired and she knew that she belonged.